All right, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So let's start this video off. So if you're somebody who has a dream inside of you, like you know that there's a dream inside of you that never ceases, right? And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what stage you're in your life. There's always this dream that just stays inside of your spirit. And like, you know that you really want to do this dream, but your circumstances or like influences around the world and around people that you're around and everything start to tell you different things, and things just start to kind of cloud your mind, right? And you know that you have a purpose. If you're watching this video, you know that you have some type of purpose. You know that you have some type of dream, something that you're really good at, something that you know that you're created to do, something that comes passionately to you, something that you just know how to do, right? And this dream could be many dreams. You could have a dream about anything, right? It could just be something that you're created to do, and this vision is only for you, right? Because if you're somebody that has a vision, someone who's a visionary, someone who has a true vision in their spirit, no matter where you're at in life, if you're not doing that vision that you have, you're constantly going to be fighting with yourself, right? And you've probably noticed this. You know that you want to do something else, and you know that you'd be really great at it, but the world has clouded your mind, and you've started to go one route because you think it's the right route, but then you go that route and you're miserable, and it's not really giving you the fruit that you want. It's not satisfying your desires for your life, right? So you start to put that dream down, but that dream is always idle inside of your spirit. It's always there. As soon as you end up being alone, as soon as you end up being by yourself, the dream, it's right back up, right? The dream that you have in your spirit, that comes from God. That's your purpose. And that's the purpose that you're supposed to do. That's the thing that you're supposed to do in this life. But the dream that you have, it's only for you, right? So the people around you, like, they could care about you, they love you and everything, but they don't see the dream that you have, right? They don't understand it, or like they don't see like it's gonna bear any fruit, right? But the dream that you have is extremely strong. It's always going to be there, and it's supposed to be there because you're supposed to achieve it, right? Because a dream doesn't get achieved right away. A dream gets achieved by steps, and it takes time and everything. But all that matters is if you do have a vision inside you. Because if you do have this vision that never goes away, that you've had for pretty much your entire life, right? You've probably had whatever dream it is, whatever vision in your spirit, whatever that is, you probably had this your entire life, and you need to understand that this vision that you have is for you and only you. And not that it's only going to benefit you, but it's only in your spirit, because you're the only one that can see it, right? So this is how it's going to be if you're someone who's chosen, if you're someone who's purposed for something else. It's going to be incredibly tough, because you're going to have temptations to go other ways. You're going to kind of be on your own, right? And it's not like you're on your own completely, but you're on your own with this vision. So this is where the struggle comes, right? Because you need to move by faith, because that dream that you have comes from God, and it's only for you and God. It helps a lot of people, but it comes from God, and it's for you, right? This is why other people can't see it. This is why other people might be like, oh, you're crazy, or like, there's no way you're going to do that. How are you going to, make money, or how are you going to do this, right? The only thing that matters is if you do have that vision inside you, and it's always burning, like it's always there. This is why I say in a lot of my old videos that there's always a nagging, quotation marks, feeling inside of your spirit. If you're someone who's purpose for something else, there's always a nagging feeling, and you're like, what is this feeling? Like every time I do something, I just feel like I'm not supposed to be here, or I feel like I should be doing something else, right? So you need to understand that vision that you have has to be done. It has to be done. You can't avoid it, because if you do try to avoid it, it's going to constantly be speaking to your ear, right? You're going to be constantly thinking about it. Every time you're in a place with no distractions, if you're alone or something, like it's going to come back. Or if you're at a certain place in your life and like you feel like you should be happy about that place in your life, but you're not because you have a vision for something else. It's gonna stay like that until you do it. And you know what this vision is. You at least you know something about it. You know what it is. It could be whether you're like someone who publicly speaks about something. You might have a skill with certain things. You might have like a love for a certain thing like that you're really good at. Something that pulls you to it every time. It's like it always comes back, right? It's always coming back. And this is how people who are destined for different things, because not everyone is created to do the same thing. People that are destined for like a bigger purpose, a different type of purpose, that dream is always going to be on fire pretty much. It's always going to be like, if you're not doing anywhere near what that vision is, if you're just, doing a job or something that's outside of it, it's always going to be like idle inside of you. You could always feel it, because as soon as you get alone, it comes back. You start to remember it. You're like, man, I should be doing this. I should start this. I should do this. It's always going to be there, right? Because you're created to do it, right? God is always kind of pulling you to do whatever that is. He's always pulling you to do it. And it's a journey. It's not something that you have to rely on people with. You rely on God with it, because God is the one that planted that dream inside of you. And that's why it never goes away. That's why you can't look at it as if it's just like a desire, right? Just like a normal desire. Like it's different to have a dream and a desire, because a desire could be like, I want to have this and that, but you don't really think about it too much. A dream is just constantly there. A vision, it's constantly there. You're like, why do I always have this certain type of vision? And it gets frustrating, because you're like, there's no way this is going to happen, because I'm in this point in my life. I'm at this point. How am I going to do that? With finances or whatever it could be. Or you look at yourself a certain type of way, but it doesn't matter where you're at. It's always going to be there. And it's always there. And you can't ignore it, right? Because it's not made to be ignored, because it's from God. So God's not going to let you just ignore it, because that's what he created you for. And this is also why people have doubted you for so long, because people who have looked at you as like crazy or delusional or just all types of things, right? People have like doubted you. People have told you it wouldn't work out. People have told you like all types of these things, right? This happens to everyone that has a bigger purpose to them, right? They're always going to be doubted. You're going to go through traumas. You're going to go through stuff in your childhood. You're going to go through just a bunch of stuff, right? A bunch of lies pretty much, or just a bunch of criticisms, a bunch of stuff to kind of kill that dream, right? Or just make you put that dream down. But you can't do anything to kill the vision. I'm telling you this right now. You can't do anything to kill that vision that you have, because it doesn't matter where you're at in your life. It's going to come back. It's always going to come back. And it's a really big struggle, because it's something that's not supposed to come quickly, right? It's gonna come, but it's not something that comes quickly. It's just something that you have to have tremendous faith in. This is why you have to have a lot of faith. You have to have big faith in yourself, and you have to have big faith in God, because the vision that you have, it's not something that's easy, right? It's a big thing, and big things don't get built fast, right? Like if you see like a ginormous mansion or something, or like a castle or something like that, those things do not build quickly, right? They take a long time. You get the foundation, you get all the things to build it, and it takes a really, really, really long time. But once it's built, though, you see it, you're like, wow, like this thing is ginormous, right? This is how your vision is. And I know whoever's watching this video, that you do resonate with this, because you know that there's something that you have a vision for, and it's something that never goes away. It's something that you've had for years and years and years. It could be that, or you could be doing it right now. You could be working towards it right now. And God says when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen, right? But you already know, you probably already feel it in your spirit too, that it's going to happen. Like it's what you're created to do. It's going to happen, right? And God specifically creates certain people to do different things. Like certain people do this, and that, and certain people go do big things, and like things that are harder, things that are more difficult. This is why you're also equipped with a whole different type of light to you, a whole different type of personality. Like, you see through things really quickly. You see like the truth about things. You always look at things and like, you might be the type of person that like says, why is it like this? Or why should it be like this? Why can't it be like this? You're always, questioning it, because you have kind of like a divine intelligence to you, right? That you just see things and you see what to fix, you see what to change, you see what could be better. You're a person that's always looking at like what could be better about things. You could be the type of person that's saying, oh, this isn't right how they do it. Like, they should do it this way, or this isn't really talked about. How about I talk about it? You always been this type of person that's bold, right? That has ideas, that has different dreams, that tries a lot of things. You've probably been a type of person that's tried a lot of things, and this is how your purpose starts to unfold, because you start to do things and you start to do something that's close to it, but then you're like, okay, I should be doing this and this and that, until you really find out that this is what you're created to do, right? Because it's a journey. It's a difficult journey, but it's created to be difficult because it's a really high reward, right? So not extreme difficulty, but yeah, really hard difficulty, really high reward. This is how your life is. This is also why your life has always been so hard, because you've always been at a conflict with the world. You've always been told certain things about the world that you didn't want to do, that you had to do, right? Quotation marks. You had to do these things. And to you specifically, you could have been like, no, I don't want to do that. That sounds like hell pretty much, right? It sounds terrible. And you're like, why would I do that? I don't want to do this. I want to just do this, right? But you've been told certain things. So your life has been a constant tug of war pretty much. Like, you're like, no, I want to do this. But then you hear, no, you're not going to be able to do this because of, whatever this issue is. And you're like, no, I can still do it because I could do this. So it's always been a constant tug of war. And if you're watching this video, you're a person who stands out, right? You're a person who has multiple different ideas. Your brain is probably nonstop. Your brain's probably always just thinking of different things, thinking about how to solve things and everything. And you're created that way for a purpose. Just know you're like that for a purpose. You're not someone who's just delusional, or you're insane, or like you're this or that. It's like, no, you have a vision inside you. Every person that's ever had a big vision was always looked at as like they were insane, right? Most people are like, this person thinks you could do this, or this person thinks she could do that, or everything like that. It's supposed to be like that, right? And your vision is pretty much just for you to have faith in, right? And it's gonna start to exist. It's gonna start to form, right? But you have to have really strong faith. You have to have belief in yourself. You have to have belief in God, because it's something that's really just you and God. It's not something that many people are going to support. You might have some people supporting it and be like, yeah, you should do that. But most people are not going to support it. They're not going to believe it. They're just going to think you're someone that has just a desire that they're never going to get, right? But it's completely different from a normal desire, because it never goes away. That's when you know that you have a vision put in you by God, because you have some sort of vision that just never ceases. You're like, why doesn't this go away? Like, why can't it go away? Because you've been told by the world to kill that dream, right? To put it aside. It's not going to be possible. Just go here and do this and be happy, right? But you're the person that resists things. You don't conform. You resist. You're like, no, I'm not going to put up with that. I have this that I want to do. I'm not going to put up with that. Why would I do that, right? So yeah, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope this really helped you guys out. I'm speaking from experience over here too. This is how I've been too. I know many of you could resonate with this video, but you need to remember that you have to have true belief in yourself and true belief in God. You can't crumble, right? And you'll never crumble, because God doesn't let you just crumble and conform, right? God does not want you to conform to what the world wants you to do. God's specifically taking you out of the world to do something else. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and also don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right, God bless you guys.